everybody here in the panel and the audience who are into C&I and the residential sector, they also want it that we should be free from any government intervention. So let's see, we'll wait for that time to come. I'd like to hear view of Mr. Vinod, who is representing Havells, and they are also into EPC and into residential sector as well. So what are the challenges and what are the key drivers which they think will help in achieving the overall target of 40 gigawatt, where a residential penetration will play a very, very important role?
Hi everybody, this is Vinod here, representing Havells. So as my fellow panelists were speaking about, the challenges in residential, challenges in commercial and industrial segment, I think if India has to get even closer to that 40 gigawatt kind of a mark, I think residential solution systems have to, occupy the key focus area because until unless people, individual householders, individual people like us start using solar systems, I don't think so. There's going to be penetration, to achieve that 40 gigawatt or 30 gigawatt or 20 gigawatt kind of a number. I mean, we are all representing the same industry, solar solutions. How many of us in our houses have solar systems? I think that's the first question that we have. So one brave guy, right? So I think what the problem happens is that it is not easy for an end consumer to go for solar. I think it's very confusing, right? Because whether it's a subsidy or no subsidy issue, whether how the system will work, who are the players, what kind of solution. I think until unless as an industry we don't ease out customer purchase cycle, I think it's not going to be, this industry, residential solar industry is not going to penetrate. Because commercial industrial, the discussions have moved from why solar to which solar solution they want to go for. I think we need not sell a commercial industrial customer why you should go for solar. Because I think on paper, on Excel sheets or on demonstration, they have seen that there is an advantage. But for a residential customer or a consumer where his house is running without solar, there's no requirement, and you're going to block his terrace. The Indians love putting our clothes on the terrace and stuff like that, so it's no problem. But how do you tell them or how do you explain to them that this system can actually help you save electricity charges over the years? And as rightly said by solar, as India's purchase parity is going to increase, the consumption is obviously going to increase. So the customers and the consumers don't, at residential level, they don't trust, or the trust level is missing. And it requires a lot of hand-holding, a lot of discussions, and I think it's both the government as well as large industry players. They have to come forward and we have to speak to unified voice to a customer that this is the right kind of solution which they should go for, why they should go for. I think there's a lot of education which is missing to the end consumer rather than confusing him. And of course, from the government there needs to be clarity whether there is a subsidy or there is not a subsidy. I think whether there is a subsidy, it should be either state-wise uniform, because you cannot have different states, operating in different ways and then getting confused. Or there should be no subsidy and let the market forces play as per. I think that's the way forward. I think that's only the way forward. We can actually ease out the operations, and then only the number of installations in residential space will increase, ensuring there is a lot of rooftop installations from 4 gigawatt, which is a very small sum in the 10% of the target, and we're only over 3 years away from the target. So I think until this doesn't happen, I don't see the traction taking up forward.
Thanks, Vinod. For a solar system to actually survive the entire life of 25 years, it is very important the equipment used in the solar system should be able to perform to its optimal level. So we have Rajan from Sungrow. We will just like to have its view on what type of inverters, what are the new technologies that they are putting in the inverters so that the inverters last for the overall 25 years.
Hi, this is Rajan Munjal, and I'm handling the rooftop, basically rooftop department in my company Sungrow. So basically, whatever we have discussed here, this is all about like government policies and what should we do, what should we not do. So you won't believe, even in the HQ, like R&D center, we always see what policies are coming. This is not regarding what we want to produce, but this what we do. This is regarding policy. For example, when 100 gigawatt mission have come to India, so See, from the global prospect, we thought like we should put up the factory in India so that we should support India for achieving that 100 gigawatt goal. So that was that time we decided, okay, 100 gigawatt next 7 years. Let's build a factory. We should at least build 3 to 5 gigawatt of inverter per year. But when we see this is regarding just out of this, like 40 gigawatt is for rooftop. So to cater rooftop, initially we decided to come up with the rooftop only. So, but later, okay, we realized that the growth is very slow. So we should cater the nearby factory also. So this was one of the example when we guys also struck up with the government policies. The second part is like, okay, so one is like government policies, like net metering and other things are also, is a major constraint for us to come up with a new technology. For example, what we are doing, one is like the life expectancy of the inverter. What we do like 25 years, that's completely fine. Like whatever equipment we use in our inverter should be running for 25 years. And right now, I'm very sure that among the end user, the technology is understood by everybody. Like yes, the life can be 25 years, but we want to see like another a couple of more years when this confidence among end user would increase. The policies which we see is okay. We want to give EPC an advantage of having more DC side overloading or something like that. But when we see that end users, like the government policy doesn't allow it. For example, for residential users, 10 kilowatt is equal to 10 kilowatt. We want to optimize system. We want to support EPCs. We want to support the end user to give them the advantage of because sun efficiency of the system cannot increase by like 70% maximum you can achieve in India. So we want to give them the advantage of using it, but at the same time we can't do it because government doesn't allow us to give us the technical advantage of doing it. So that is the one example I wanted to share because I'm sure that we are also already running over time. So I want to conclude what my statement says. Like, of course, the EPCs and IPP are the in the front of the end user, but we are the backing up these companies because of them we are surviving in the industry. So to support them, we are already ready with the R&D facility. If tomorrow net metering says okay, we are not allowing net metering for a certain level, then we have to come up with a new technology like hybrid systems, like he said. So we are here to support like IPP and EPC. And at the same time, we always expect that these people will convince government, one India, one policy. So, it looks difficult, but yes, we have to see it. Thank you.
When we discuss rooftop, let's try and have a participative, inclusion of distribution companies also, and hear their perspective, and try and work together. Maybe the forum can be such that we understand each other's issues and thrash out a possible solution where everybody wins.
That's a good suggestion, and we're happy that we have Mr. Madhusudan from the Northern Power Discom. So I'm sure, sir, if you have anything to raise to him, and for more conferences, we'll try to get more local discoms and have them on the panel. Indeed, interesting discussion, but we are, I think, missing out on a huge opportunity of rooftops. It's a very clear, visible phenomena that, we see hike in petrol, diesel prices. Electricity prices are also rising. But I think some major reform to this entire economics of electricity needs to be done. And automatically then it will become a no-brainer. And this is how it has happened in various economies of the world. I'm sure things are happening which is, letting people push to adopt solar more and more, and way forward we are seeing EV charging coming in a big way, so that will also kind of encourage people to install rooftop solar. But just my closing thoughts. Before we break for lunch, I'll request for two small presentations. May I invite, I'll request the panelists to be seated on the stage, and I'll request Mr. Siddharth Ravindran, Sales Manager from Goodwell, to come and enlighten us what work Goodwell is doing in India and globally. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Siddharth. I'll request Mr. Mantan to distribute the mementos on behalf of organizers. Before breaking for lunch, I request everyone to be seated for two small and very good presentations we are putting. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Mr. Siddharth Ravi, Sales Manager from Goodwell, on the stage and welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you, Anand, for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. I'd like to start first by thanking TECCI for this wonderful opportunity. And so I do understand that we are running short of time and I'm sure everyone must be hungry, so I'll try to keep this as crisp as possible. So Goodwell, we are a string inverter manufacturer based out of China, and we've been in the market for about 10 years. We are a product-oriented firm with a 12 gigawatt production capacity and almost 20% of our workforce dedicated to R&D. So we've got about 200 R&D staff out of our 1,400 employees. So just to take you through our roadmap since 2010, since our inception. So the first 2 to 3 years we've been focused purely on product development. Like I mentioned earlier, we are a product-oriented firm, and we've been working on perfecting products in terms of features as well as quality, particularly for the European and Australian markets in the early stages. And most of our products were rated AA or AAA by Photon in the early stages itself, as you can see between 2012 and 2014. And in 2014, we had our first distributor set up in India, and we've been in the Indian market ever since. And 15, 16, 17, we've launched our new commercial range of inverters as well, the 50, 60 and 80 kilowatt, which we'll be talking about later. And just to throw more light on our global presence, we are, like I said, we have been based out of China, and we are primarily focusing on the Indian, the Southeast Asian market, the European, Australian as well as the Mexican market at present. We've got offices in Europe. Goodwell Germany is a company that is incorporated in Europe as well. So this is our current market share, which I like to put forward. So we are number one in the distributed PV market segment in China, and we are top 3 in Czech, Sri Lanka, Australia as well as Netherlands. And in India, since we've been a late entrant directly, we entered the market only in 2017. So so we are currently at number 4 in the distributed PV market segment. So globally, we have risen since last year in terms of the string inverter sales for the 3-phase market segment. We were at around number 7 last year, and we've grown up to number 4. So ahead of only a few 3 giants that you can see here. So, like I mentioned earlier, we are a product-oriented firm, and so we've got our products, in fact, tested by TECCI for a 10-year lifespan. I was listening to the sessions that happened earlier, talking about lifespan of the inverter. So, we've gone ahead and we've tested our inverters for a 10-year lifespan by TECCI. 3 of our products have been awarded the All Quality Matters Award by TECCI for 4 consecutive years. That's 2015, 16, 17, and 18 consecutively. And we've also won the prestigious Red Dot Design Award, which is again based out of Germany. For our design of our 5 kilowatt DSS product. So this is our office, a glimpse of our office in India. So we are currently based out of Vashi, Mumbai. We've got an office cum warehouse and a service center. So the current service network, for your reference, so we've got about 12 service engineers now in India. And we've got, like I said, we've got a repair center, service and repair center in Mumbai. We also have service centers in Bangalore and Pune at the moment. So a couple of projects in India that I'd like to take you through. So we've done a very prestigious project for Mangalore Refineries and Petrochemicals Limited, which is a company that is directly supervised by the PMO. So that's a 6 megawatt distributed rooftop. We've also had an opportunity to work with Cochin International Airport Limited, that's CIAL, that's a 10 megawatt ground mounted project. And we have partnered with Bosch for all their factories, so for all installing rooftops on all their factories. They've exclusively partnered with us with our inverters. And we've also worked on distributed projects with Tata, etc. And that is in Gujarat. The Kusum project that you see is in Gujarat. a couple of other global references. So what you can see here is a couple of references in Europe. So that is Turkey and Mantan. So these are one of the very few large-scale string inverter-based solar farms that you can see. One 11 megawatt and an 18 megawatt. And we've also worked with LG and another 25 megawatt project in Shanghai that we've installed. A couple of other references, I'll quickly skip this through. So coming to the products, so like I said, we are a string inverter manufacturer. So our product portfolio ranges right from 700 watts to 80 kilowatt. This is both in the grid tied as well as the hybrid segment at this moment. So we currently are catering to the entire value chain based on string inverters. So a glimpse of the grid tied inverters that we have, like I said, we start from 700 watt, we go right up to 80 kilowatt. So in between you have the entire residential, commercial as well as the industrial scale, and even for the utility segment we recently launched the 80 kilowatt inverters. So this is the 50 to 80 kilowatt series that we have. So this is one of our best sellers in India at the moment. We've done more than we've installed more than 100 megawatt of these products basically. And as you can see, these are for both rooftops as well as ground mounted systems. Ground mounted systems come with a 540 volt output. And we recently have released a couple of models which are compatible with bifacial modules as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we are a product oriented firm. So basically we worked on a couple of features based on feedback from the market, from EPC players as well as developers. And have brought in a couple of features, integrated a couple of features into our product, which you can see here to reduce the BOS cost. Not just to reduce the price of the product, but also the associated BOS cost with it. So we basically have, what you can see here is we are compatible with 95 square mm of aluminium cables. Yes, generally the market offers 35 or 50 square mm of direct copper cable connection through bimetallic lug. But we have brought in features wherein you can install aluminium cable directly so that you can avoid using a termination box, which will again reduce your POS cost. So we also have 15%, we also have 50% overloading on the DC and 15% AC output overloading. And all our inverters are rated at 50 degrees, not at 45. So our full power output is rated at 50 degrees. And we also have the anti-PID box integrated into the inverter. Just to add to the couple of features that I mentioned, so we also have the emergency power off solution. That is a hard contact relay solution for inverters to say save the inverter from DGs or power outages or etc. And then we also have a couple of features like giving an SPD on the communication board. We have internal humidity measurement sensors which will automatically, we can give a relay to the inverter saying that beyond a certain limit the inverter can be turned off. Yes. And we also have the arc fault circuit interruption and reverse polarity protection. So a couple of other features in terms of operational maintenance, we have string monitoring included with all our inverters starting right from 25 kilowatt going up to 80 kilowatt. We have power, we are one of the very few manufacturers with power line communication that is integrated. And we also have a solution where we can install the inverter at any angle between 0 and 90 degrees. So that's a horizontal installation which we allow. So coming to the hybrid segment, so we are one of the very few inverter manufacturers who've been in the hybrid segment for the past 5 years. We've got a vast experience. We've done projects in Europe, Australia, and now huge projects in Africa as well. So we start right from 3 kilowatt and go up to 10 kilowatt in the hybrid segment. We also have the retrofit inverters that you can see here to add to the existing grid-tied inverters. So this is our latest product, the ET series, which is lithium-ion battery bank based inverter. One feature that I would like to kind of put forward is yes, okay, we've got a industry-leading 98.3% efficiency for hybrid inverter, and these inverters are already compatible with batteries like BYD and Pilot Tech and LG. We've already used those inverters with these batteries. And one major advantage, like I was talking about, is the use of inductive loads for hybrid inverters, which today seems to be a big question in the market. So we provide a solution where we can take the starting current of the inductive load for up to 60 seconds. So connecting inductive loads like ACs and any other refrigerators or washing machines shouldn't be a problem with these inverters. So this is a similar inverter that what you can see here. So it is a pre-wired complete solution which we are selling, which is a hot seller in Australia. It is pre-wired and you can expand the storage as much as you want. And it is an all-in-one solution, so it becomes extremely robust for anyone to go for a hybrid system. So quickly moving on. So we are one of the very few manufacturers to have our own portal for remote monitoring. it is not just remote monitoring, but also analytical tools that are involved with the remote monitoring as well. So smart energy management system is what we call it. And so basically a couple of screenshots that you can see here. So like I said, we own the servers for this platform through which we are leveraged to sign NDAs with clients as well with multiple installations. And there is no third-party licensing involved, so data security is highly guaranteed. And like I mentioned, we also have analytical tools to help in PR calculation and etc. Inverter comparisons or even module comparisons for that matter. So the future for this, yes. So today we are sitting at analytics of plant. So tomorrow we are looking at local community energy trading. We're looking at integrating all household devices as well as industrial devices. For example, smart energy management proposals and etc. So that's the roadmap that we're looking at for the smart energy management system that we have. So the portal that we built is very robust, and we've already put it in use, and we have more than 2,000 plants operating under this portal as of now. So I think I'll wind it up there. So any questions you can let me know. Thank you.